the Chase Thomas Podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
Jalen Hyatt was the year prior, but he was solid. He was solid.
Yeah.
And then Brew, solid, great blocker, did a lot of help on the screen game here for Squirrell, especially early in the year. But not really, he's not a Cedric Tillman. Like, Cedric Tillman was someone you could target 25 times against Pitt, and he could go and just make it work. It's crazy to say, but like, Tillman was just really undervalued from what Tennessee was 2 years ago, and I understand he was banged up, but like, Tillman popped, and he's an NFL receiver. Jalen Hyatt obviously popped. There wasn't an NFL receiver, I don't think, in this group, and I don't know where Brew will be after next year, but I think the Tennessee fans who look at the return, and we'll see what he looks like coming back from this kind of injury, if you're starting Brew again, you're starting Squirrell again in the slot, and maybe Nimrod or Caleb Webb at the other side, or Chris Brazzell. We'll see how Chris Brazzell, but I don't think you can pencil in guys like that anymore based on what we just saw with Dante Thornton. Like, this offense is hard to learn for receivers. This staff loves guys who've been with this program for a long time. I don't know that it's a slam dunk that the receiver room makes a big leap next year, because for me, I have 2025 circled where I'm really, really high on Mike and I'm really, really high on Braylon. They'll probably have a much bigger opportunity and role as sophomores. I think their upside and ceiling's a lot higher. I don't know. Do you think that's fair to just still be pretty cautious about the talent and what Tennessee is going to bring for Nico in 2024 in the receiver room?
Yeah, for sure. Again, like I've already said a couple of times, man, I'm not giving up on him.
Yeah.
Again, I mentioned the with the new ruling, the transfers can leave again. That's something to watch as the week goes on, through Friday. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but guys like Dante Thornton, who did not have the year that he wanted, Tennessee goes and recruits another outside wide receiver.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, okay, well, he could be looking to try to get out. So my point is, I still think that there's a lot that he can do. I mean, he's got an NFL skill set. So we'll see what he can do down the line. But yeah, I mean, I was bought in 110% for him, and he didn't show up. I thought, from what I saw from Ramel Keaton stepping up, and he did such a fantastic job in 2022, that he was going to do that and maybe a little bit more in 23. And man, the writing was on the wall when he dropped that bomb in the Virginia game from Joe Milton. It was like he never recovered, and he had just kind of a down year. And then when the injuries hit, and I thought Chaz Nimrod did a pretty good job, but I mean, Chaz Nimrod and Caleb Webb are not Javonte Payton or not Cedric Tillman. And so to be, optimistically cautious, I think is very fair, because a lot of people, myself included, a little bit just thought, oh, well, it's Heupel's scheme. He's going to scheme people wide open because he's done it for 2 years. Well, his first year, he had Velus Jones, Cedric Tillman, Javonte Payton. Those are pretty good players. Velus Jones hadn't done a lot in the NFL, but he's in the NFL. Okay. Cedric Tillman's there. Second year, you had Jalen Hyatt, Cedric Tillman. And then this year, you didn't have either one of them, and you lack that explosiveness. So, to see if those guys can come around. And how much does that have to do with quarterback? We'll see. I mean, we will see. Can Nico elevate that group as well, where Joe maybe couldn't? I still think these are answers we're going to find out in 2024, but to be cautiously optimistic, for sure, I think that's very fair.
I'm gonna get Kelsey Pope's number, and I'm just gonna text him every day, be like, Mike needs to be in the rotation. Mike needs to be in the rotation. Like, put Mike in the rotation, because I don't know. It just kind of scares me. What they're gonna start, and they like their three. I don't know. We're going to see. I'm very, very curious how the wide receiver room unfolds. Maybe it's a spring battle for Thornton and Brazzell, where whoever wins out in the spring, and it's clear that they're going to be the other starting wide receiver opposite of Brew on the outside. Maybe the person who loses that battle, then they leave in the spring portal window. Maybe that's how it unfolds there, just to at least give a full offseason here to see how it goes between the two of them, because they have such a similar skill set, and you're not going to play a whole lot barring injury, and Tennessee dealt with a lot of injuries at that spot obviously this past year. So that is something weird that maybe helps this room, is that, look, injuries happen and they can show, hey, like, we like these guys, he might be ahead of you right now, but things happen.
Go. Nicely done, nephew. The Chase Thomas Podcast. Hell yeah.